So April and May 2025, I spent mainly in Nepal, in the Everest region, climbing the sort of twin peak of Everest called Lhotse, which is in Tibetan means the South Peak. Didn't quite make the summit, but got over 8,000 meters, and was a bit disappointed not to get there. And so sort of hatched this plan back on the way to the U.S. with all my climbing equipment and being well acclimatized and well rested to make a go and to try to do a quick summit, a solo of Fuji. Didn't know much about it. It's rarely done out of season, and it sounded like on the internet at least it would be quite difficult. And I figured I was looking mainly for a weather window and had some good maps and all my equipment. The main sort of obstacle I faced was getting permission from the police. It sounded like it was a big deal to climb it off season or an alpine climb when it's still got all the snow and ice up there. So it started out in these sort of misty forests, and then I got on this track that seemed very well maintained, and it had been pressed down by some sort of motor vehicle, and that went on for several hours. And then I eventually reached this the vehicle itself, this machine that had been pressing down the track. But beyond that, it did start to get a bit nerve-wracking because I passed these were avalanche barriers and started hearing avalanches. And I just remained calm and thought that the conditions where I was on this ridge, that it was somewhat safe to proceed, but certainly with the avalanche barriers and hearing the avalanches, I was a bit anxious. Another major decision was to get a lot of the food and the crampons and to leave them behind so that I could travel more lightly when I got nearer to the summit. So the climb went well, I would say, generally speaking, but the real problem arose when I got to the summit. Remember, this is a volcano, so it's actually kind of a big crater with this, cliffs and this huge hole in it. So I hadn't really researched much about that. I thought I would just walk around this circular loop. It looks small on the map, but it actually has some steep cliffs and was dark, and I was tired, and I could hear these avalanches. And my theory was that the avalanches were coming from the south side, that had probably been heated up by the sun, and I think that is correct. And then it is melting the snow, refreezing it, and then that's sliding off. And it'd make these sounds kind of like a machine gun, go pop, 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 and then boom. But where I was stable, but I didn't feel comfortable going around this circular ridge or really having any plan of what the summit would be like, because it was quite dangerous for these little cliffs that drop into the middle of it. So I just kind of walked around a little bit of that semicircle, maybe about a fourth of it, and was getting pretty nervous. And of course didn't have the crampons because I had taken them out for weight and had catched them maybe 500 meters below the summit. So that's something that I should have thought about, done more research on what the summit conditions would have been like. And I've done this several times where I get a little bit lost in the descent, and so I ended up sort of overshooting on the lower slopes, and it kind of wasted some time. And then kind of wrapped up around 4 a.m., but then didn't have any real plan of what to do, so I ended up sleeping in that turquoise excavator machine until about maybe 6 a.m. And then I went back to this bus stop and slept in a bathroom I found that was unlocked, and kind of slept on the floor of the bathroom until maybe 9 a.m. in which people started to arrive in buses. So it wasn't really that well planned as far as the descent or how I would get back, but not that big a deal.